This is the Washington Times front page for Thursday, September 21st, 2023. Thanks for joining us. I'm George Gerbo. The prospect of a historic diplomatic normalization between Israel and Saudi Arabia inched closer to reality at the UN General Assembly. Guy Taylor reports President Biden and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu expressed optimism about an Israeli-Saudi breakthrough as they met at the UN. It was the first face-to-face meeting between the two leaders since Netanyahu's conservative nationalist coalition returned to power at the end of 2022. American and Israeli officials warned that the meeting would be cold because of Biden's frustration with the Netanyahu government's contentious judicial overhaul and aggressive Jewish settlement policies. But the comments about Saudi Arabia signaled a moment of warmth. The deal would build on Israel's diplomatic recognition agreement with other Arab states under the Trump administration. Former President Trump returned to Iowa for the second time in as many weeks, looking to press his advantage in the 2024 Republican presidential primary race. Seth MacLachlan reports Trump said his campaign learned lessons from the 2016 race in Iowa after he finished as the runner-up in the caucuses behind Texas Senator Ted Cruz. Trump trips to Iowa have been few and far between this year, and his absence opened the door for other Republican contenders. But his stop this week was the first of 5 scheduled Iowa visits he plans to make through the end of October. Universities across the country faced with falling enrollments and skyrocketing costs are cutting back services, hiking tuition, and eliminating some less popular majors. Sean Salai reports most of the changes were announced at the end of spring and over the summer, but some students and faculty are pushing back this fall. That includes at West Virginia University, where its Board of Governors voted to eliminate at least 143 faculty positions and gut foreign language offerings. And in the University of Wisconsin system, where a recently approved budget projects 10 of its 13 campuses will run deficits this year after the Republican-led state legislature cut $32 million in funding. Enrollment at 4-year public colleges and universities fell by 3.3% from 2019 to 2023, according to the National Student Clearinghouse Research Center. Attorney General Merrick Garland told the House Judiciary Committee he knows nothing about the investigation into Hunter Biden. Susan Ferricchio reports Garland's day-long appearance before the committee was marked by his repeated claims of ignorance about key Justice Department matters. Many of the questions from Republicans centered on the Hunter Biden investigation. Garland says he intentionally kept himself out of the loop while trying to pursue his responsibility leading the department. Garland testified before the committee a week after the House launched an impeachment inquiry into President Biden over allegations that he helped his son Hunter secure foreign business deals while he was vice president. And finally, a diverse group of Washington, D.C. clergy and civic leaders said the city needs a spiritual renaissance to stem the wave of street violence fueled by adolescents. Matt Delaney reports pastors and imams met in the city's Anacostia neighborhood to promote a message tailored to the teens and young adults behind the bloodshed. The religious leaders said they are trying to address an identity crisis created when parents don't take responsibility, leading young people to become consumed by the disputes that often precede slayings. Find all of today's front page stories at WashingtonTimes.com/front page or on the Washington Times app, and find us wherever you get your podcasts. Just search Washington Times in any major podcast app. You can also find us on social media at Wash Times for breaking news, sports, commentary, and more. For the Washington Times, I'm George Gerbo.